What's up, guys? It is I, once again, Yusuf El Sanid, and today, guys and gals, I want to talk about and review George Miller's 1979 dystopian action revenge drama, Mad Max, which is the first chapter of the Mad Max series. I'm not including Mad Max Fury Road because the character that Tom Hardy played is not Mad Max in my book. Mad Max will always be Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson, who I have the biggest crush on. I'm going to elaborate further just how much of a huge crush I have on Mel Gibson. He and his gorgeous hair, his tight leather jacket, and of course his gorgeous face. But this movie was directed by George Miller, co-written by George Miller and James McCausland, and of course was produced by Byron Kennedy, who would sadly pass away a few years later after the making of Mad Max 2 Road Warrior. It's really sad that Byron Kennedy had to die before the making of chapter 3 in the Mad Max series. Byron Kennedy was a huge asset in the making of the Mad Max series, which includes Mad Max 1 and 2. George Miller and Byron Kennedy worked very closely together, and you can see how this film was very hard to make at the time, considering they had a small budget, a very small budget, yet Mad Max went on to become a commercial and critical success, especially over in Australia, which is where the movie is made and set in. This movie stars Mel Gibson as the title character, Max Rockatansky. I can't even say his name, guys and gals. I'm really sorry, but his name is beyond hard to pronounce. But he's basically known as Max, and Max is basically Australian, and Mel Gibson is actually Australian himself. And considering that Mel Gibson is both American and Australian, and has also taken on a Scottish accent in his movie, that being the 1995 historical war drama Braveheart. So considering how Mel Gibson can switch between Australian, American and Scottish accent, Mel Gibson is so talented, sexy as hell, and of course he is Mad Max. There will never be another Mad Max like him. Sorry Tom Hardy, but there is only Mel Gibson, my boy, my bae, my hubby, Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson stars as the title character Mad Max, or simply known as Max, and this film takes place in a dystopian setting, and the story takes place 4 years before the fall of society, when society crumbles and everyone turns into mad men and mad women. They become mad people who are scavenging for goods, hunting down resources, and of course killing one another in this wasteland, a wasteland which would become more vile, very horrid, and so evil to be a part of. And what's so sad is that Mad Max, or Max, is soon to become one of these mad people who are going to be part of the road, hunting one another, killing each other for goods and resources. Mad Max at the beginning was a cop, a good honest working cop who is slowly losing his mind because of the fury in the road and how the road is taking its toll on him. And the road consists of these biker gangs, the biker gangs who are being led by one man, one psychopath known as Toe Cutter. Fun fact for you guys and gals, the actor who plays Toe Cutter, he actually plays Immortan Joe, the main antagonist of Mad Max Fury Road. He played such a compelling villain in Fury Road, just like he plays a compelling villain in Toe Cutter in George Miller's Mad Max, and he directed both Mad Max, the original film, and Fury Road. George Miller understands how to write a truly compelling evil villain, especially one as sinister and vile and very psychotic as Toe Cutter. Toe Cutter is someone I really found to be fascinating, especially by how the actor delivers his lines. He speaks in such a fluent, very formal manner, and yet Toe Cutter, despite his formality and the way he talks with such an exuberant voice, he is a very sick individual who does so many horrible things that Max is so sickened by. After the death of his best friend, Goose, he's known as the Goose. I may as well call him Mother Goose. The Goose, or Mother Goose as I call him, is Max's best friend, and he is burnt to crisp after one guy, Johnny the Boy as he's called, one of Toe Cutter's goons. He burns Max's friend, and this finally pushes Max over the edge, and Max is so scared he might become one of them. He might become so crazy and so insane it would go against his philosophy and rule as a cop who is meant to protect the innocent and to put the scumbags behind bars. Mad Max is becoming just like them, and he is so scared by that alone, so he decides to quit his job to finally stay at home with his wife who loves him so much. As she puts it, she's crazy about him, and trust me guys and gals, I am just as crazy if not more so about Max as she is, because once again Mel Gibson is my bae, my hubby, and damn is he hot! Ever since Mad Max has quit his job as a police officer, a law-abiding police officer, he is happily married to his wife, has a beautiful son, and life is very good until one day the biker gang led by Toe Cutter kill his wife and child. After the death of his wife, his beloved son, and of course his best friend, Max has finally had it. He becomes exactly what he feared most. He becomes a madman who goes on the road and starts to unleash his fury upon the scumbags who killed his wife and son and burned his best friend alive, and to make sure they regret ever crossing paths with Max, the one true king of the road, Mad Max. And Mad Max has come, guys, and boy oh boy do I love this movie. George Miller's film is so great. I really love this film. Mad Max, the first film, is my second favorite of the Mad Max series. My absolute favorite being Mad Max 2, Road Warrior. I really love Mad Max 2. Mad Max 1, however, is such a good film. It's a really powerful, compelling drama with such a cool twist and such cool action sequences I love so much. This movie is a true revenge film that tells the story of Max going from an honest working cop to becoming the king of the road, the Mad King himself, that being Mad Max. Mad Max is the one true king of the road, and he takes out all his anger, all his aggression on those who oppose him. Definitely if you kill his wife and child and burn his best friend, Mad Max is one not to be trifled with. He is truly, in every sense of the word, a wrecking machine, and Mad Max is friggin' awesome. Of course, he is played by an equally awesome Mel Gibson, who I love so much. Mel Gibson is so hot, so sexy, and damn just so cool, man. He is Mad Max. No offense to Tom Hardy, but he will never, and I mean ever, fill Mad Max's shoes, or should I say Mel Gibson's shoes. And trust me guys and gals, his shoes is quite big. Wow, big shoes, sexy leather jacket, hair and face of Mel Gibson. I mean, I am the biggest Mel Gibson fanboy, but can you blame me? I think not. I love Mel Gibson as Mad Max. I love the actor who plays Toe Cutter. Out of all the supporting characters of Mad Max, I really love the lady who plays Mad Max's wife, that being Joan Samuel, whose character is named Jessie. Jessie's a character I really love. She is so sweet, charming, and so beautiful as hell. She really does love Mad Max, like Mad Max clearly loves her, and so it's very understandable Max would lose his mind, go mad, and want revenge for the death of both his wife and child. What I love about George Miller most is not just how he films action or how he writes his villains in his movies. He also knows how to create compelling drama between the characters, especially between love interests. In this case, between Max and his beloved wife Jessie. Jessie and Max have such good chemistry. You do believe they love each other, and they really do love each other. And so when Jessie and her child are killed, you feel so horrible for Max, and you really want him to get revenge against those who did both he and his wife and child wrong. The drama, the writing, the characters, the action, the cool set pieces in the movie, everything about Mad Max, George Miller's Mad Max, is so awesome, and one I do recommend you guys and gals watch. I do recommend you guys and gals watch George Miller's Mad Max. It's such a fun movie, a fun action dystopian revenge film, worth your time. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe if you wish, and do check out my gaming channel where I do let's play series, gaming content, all that kind of good stuff. Until next time, peace out, take care, adios amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.